Low carb diets are all the rage, and one of our viewers wants to know, is it safe and is it a good way to kickstart a weight loss program by cutting out carbohydrates? Well, low carb diets basically limit the amount of carb. They limit them anywhere to 60 to 130 grams a day, depending on the type of low carb diet, and there's multiple types. Carbohydrates in your diet come from dairy, fruits, vegetables, grains, sugars, sweets, beans. We have lots of foods that we typically eat contain carbohydrates. So obviously, if you cut back on carbohydrates and you cut back those extra calories, you can indeed kickstart a weight loss program, and you can follow this kind of a diet and be very successful at weight loss. In fact, there may be some benefits if you are at risk for diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome, but check with your doctor first before you start on this kind of plan. The body uses carbohydrate as fuel, so you have to have some carbs. And the dietary guidelines recommends that at least about 45 to 65%, or about half of your calories, should come from carbohydrates because it needs it for fuel. But it's best to choose the smart carbs in your diet. So the smart carbs come from dairy, whole fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, all kinds of beans, seeds, and nuts have a little bit of carb as well. And those carbohydrates are smart because they're packed with nutrients. And most of them also contain fiber. And fiber slows down the absorption of the carbohydrate and therefore has less of an impact on blood sugar. So yes, cutting back on carbs is good, but you don't want to cut back too much. You need to make sure you get that fuel and try to choose whole grains instead of the refined grains. Cutting back sweetened beverages like soda is a great way to slash calories and reduce the amount of carbs. Cutting back on sweets. Sweets like cakes and cookies and candies, those are obvious kinds of carbohydrates to reduce. So yes, cutting back on carbs is certainly there are healthy approaches that will be very effective in weight loss. Even if you just want to kickstart, some of the plans have initial phases that really cut back severely on the amount of carbs, but then gradually add it back in. So that's the kickstart approach. But whatever diet you choose one that you can stick with, one that you enjoy, but that also includes lots of nutrient-rich foods so that you get all the nutrients you need for good health.